Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers, and today we are going to finish working on our new mining rig crane thing. And we've made some changes. Let's turn our light on here. We made some changes to the crew hab, and we'll talk about those. But first, we have to get started, so let's go. So, happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day and a terrific week thus far. So the mining areas, well, the mining rig, the new mining rig's hab compartment, we've been making some changes. As you can probably tell, things are much more compact and compartmentalized. And I want to talk to you about what we've done here. We've gone ahead and set up what's effectively like a small, like, officer's quarters. We are sharing the O2 vent from the main portion. We went ahead and put in a little partition here and gave him his own locker. In here we've got, a shower on this side. We removed the shower that was here on this corner and put in the bathroom. And what I may do is I may actually swap these two. Because if we swap them, then we have something other than just this plate here between us and the void. But you do have two doors in here now. We relocated some things where we had the bathroom before. We put in a second bunk, and this is basically for somebody who's visiting. They'll be able to have, whoever's on day shift kind of thing. We've got a couch over here now. We've spun the vending machine or the dispenser. So you actually have, just quick refrigerated stuff if you want it. You got your little cooking area. And then again, you have shared O2 here. Now, the reason I did this is because the idea is that if this hab is, loses its oxygen envelope, you're kind of screwed anyway. So it didn't matter quite so much if we have a shared O2 system. The other thing is that when you're looking at it from an industrial perspective, the companies aren't going to pay more than they have to. So what we're trying to do is to keep things a little bit more in line with a realistic expectation. And so you're going to end up with a lot of shared space. You're going to end up with things where you're going to have one pipe for oxygen coming in, and that's going to have a header on it that's got two vent areas for you to kick that air out into multiple areas. Mainly because of the fact that it's easier to have a single line than it is to run two lines. And then that way, if you do have a second line, you can actually end up using that as a secondary or redundant system. But with the way that Space Engineers is set up, we're far enough into the future that, well, realistically, we probably would never have something like this, but, it's always fun, right? It's science fiction. All right, so the hab module, much more cozy than it was before. All right. Now, the other thing that I've been working on, we've gone ahead and welded up all of this stuff. We've got the windows in. We've got all of the walkways in. We did go ahead and use the light under here. And at night, yeah, so there's debris floating up there. I'm going to have to go find that. But at night, this thing puts out just enough light to outline basically the landing area, this little landing piece here, and give you enough light to get up the ladder. So we've gone ahead and put a ramp in here. We've got a little up and over. So what I'm thinking I may do is I may take this out and put in the rest of these walkways and basically just have, so there would be a walkway with one bar here with one railing. And then one railing, we'd do the two railings all the way across. And then have a turn over here so you can get in and out. But when I was setting this up, I didn't feel like having all of these in. So I just went ahead and did quick and dirty. We'll fix that. All right. So now one of the things that we did do is we put in a ladder system, and I have actually gone across this whole thing, traversed the entire thing. Brings you up to a landing right here below the rotor, which allows you to then climb up on the next ladder segment, which brings you over here, up here, and into the command module, which is actually airtight. We've gone ahead and basically we use the same design we have been using. The one change that I made was to add another conveyor junction off to the side so that we could move the air vent over here. This allowed me to then put a corner light in, so we actually have light in here. We have full visibility, and we should have pretty good control over the whole thing when it's said and done. But now we have the ability to walk in and out and just, you know, take a smoke break outside if you choose to. Alright, so now we have to figure out what are we doing for the mining rig itself. Right, so we know that if we're standing here on the surface, the farthest down it looks like we have materials, a silicon and magnesium, down to 30-ish meters, which means as long as we can get the 35 meters, we're okay. But I'm kind of wanting to be able to go deeper. So let's go grab one of the ships. Actually, did we put an ore detector on here? I think we did. Yes, we did. Alright, so let's go ahead. We're going to grab the parts for the ore detector, and I want to check, since this is on a separate grid, we don't have to worry quite so much about the conflicts between the ore detectors on the same grid, obviously. No, I don't think I have them, I think is the problem. Yeah, I don't have them. Okay. Oh, detectors. We need 20, right? So we'll let that run. Now, one of the things that I'll be doing off camera this week, and I keep saying I want to do it, and I haven't gotten time to do it, is I want to go ahead and put the stairs in on here, on both of these, or I should say on these last 3 towers, to get those done, because we do have all of them airtight. So they are holding atmosphere now, which is good. And I think once we're done with the mining rig, the only other thing left to really do, I mean, it's just we have to weld all of this stuff up. Finish welding that, get the stairs in on both sides over here. And I think that is pretty much all of it. Once that's done, once all this is welded up, we're gonna have a pretty good mining base. And yeah, I forgot who mentioned it, but we have officially named the base the Rock Garden. So, you know, it's the Lunar HQ, but it's lovingly known as the Rock Garden. I'll put some more panels up there, and we'll put up like the faction logos and such. So, all right, we should have detectors now. I still don't know if I'm going to actually weld all of this up or not, because what I'm thinking, hey, look at that. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we may end up, instead of putting the connector on it like we have it, what I may do, I guess we could leave the connector on it. Build like a little pad area here for a wheeled vehicle to come over and link up with it. But I'm going to put a collector on here too. And so what we'll do is we'll have an area that a vehicle could basically come up, have, you know, 1, 2, 3 connectors or ejectors on it if it's a small grid vehicle, and we'll basically set it up to dump stuff into the collector. And the so we'll put a small gravity generator, well, we'll put a gravity generator under it to increase the gravity pull, so when things come out they fall into the collector. At least that's the idea. And the reason for that is because this thing is going to spit out a ridiculous amount of material. And what I want to do is I want to have this set up. Probably going to have it come off of this end. I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll have... you ever see the old rail systems where they had the coal dispensers and water dispensers where it would come up over into like this L shape or J shape? It would come over and drop stuff. So what we'll do is we'll set up a vehicle that'll have a collector on top of it that basically will come over here, park under this thing, and when you turn it on, I'm thinking maybe even set it up with sensors so that when the sensor is tripped, it'll say, oh, there's a vehicle here. Okay. And it starts dispensing stuff. Maybe have it set up with a timer block or something. I told you, we're going to get much more engineering, I guess, this time around. All right, so you are set up. We actually have a control panel right here. Let's go ore detector. You are going to go to 150. We do not have an antenna on it, which I'm wondering, where can we put one? I guess we could drop an antenna here. So I do want to put the antenna dish on. But I don't know if we're gonna... I mean, it is technically an omnidirectional antenna, right? $48, $30, $60, $48, $80. Ooh, that's actually cheaper to build. Steel girders and construction. Construction tubes, and steel. So I think this is actually cheaper. Alright, so if this is actually going to be cheaper, it mounts to there. Do I have any plates? I do have plates on me, okay. So if we go... How about if we do something like this? One, two. So if we do that. Oh, let's see here. Trying to figure out how I want to do this. I guess we could do it this way. Do a rotor there. Let's see here. Actually, is there a small grid version of that? No, large grid only. Okay. Alright, that's good to know. So if we do that. To there. To there. To there. And then we will have that.
Energy low.
That. Come on. And we'll mount that there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get all of that welded up first. I know I said we were going to work on the... we're going to work on the mining rig. Oh, but I want to get this done, so... I know, we keep finding little side projects and getting distracted from getting the big stuff done, right? Alright, so we're just going to do very simple stuff here. Alright, so... oh, before I forget. We're going to have to add that to the items list. Let's drop all of this miscellaneous stuff. We'll keep the beer on us, or I'm sorry, the cosmic coffee on us. We have to get our power up there too. Alright, so let's get this welded up really quick. Now I wanted to get the rotors and stuff done specifically so that we don't have any so we don't have any issues with things drifting and then having to fix it all. So you go there. There we go. Man, you got a weird hitbox. Alright, so we're going to pick up the rest of the supplies, grab some metal plates. Let's swing into
Energy critical.
Here to grab us some health, power, recharge our O2 and hydrogen. There we go. I think I accidentally depressurized the base there for a second. Helps if we grab the parts we came back for. And while we're here, we're gonna go plates. I'm gonna grab, I don't know, like 400 or 500 of those, a couple hundred of those, a couple hundred of those. Okay, that should do us well. Let's get the rest of this stuff welded up. Like I said, I've been wanting a reason to play with these things with this antenna for a while. And so this really is just giving me an excuse to play with it. Quite frankly. Oh. Wow, there's ice down there? How deep down is the ice? Silicon there. 33 meters. Oh, this is actually going to work out really well. So we don't even have to put the lift pistons in. We should be able to get, so if that's 35, well 33.5, 33.4. So 33.4 looks like the closest we have for ice, which is actually good. Magnesium silicon. This will be good. Okay. So since we don't have to put the lift in, that means we can go straight conveyors. Alright, so we're gonna go, how many is this? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So we need to do about 12, so it's going to be 11 and then a block, a conveyor junction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11. There you go. And then just to give us a little bit of stability, we'll go, actually Let's go that way. Let's do that. Now, realistically, this isn't doing anything for the build. It's more just to kind of look cool. Oh, come on, really? There you go. But what it does do is that it will, in the case of something hitting the base, like if something does a little bit of damage, a stray bullet comes through or something, it will help protect the whole thing from falling apart. And that's actually really important in this particular case. Alright, so now we are doing pistons. And remember, since the whole upper portion pivots, we don't have to put a rotor in on this. So all we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which drills. Alright, so yes, these will have to come out. Okay. Did I take that one too far out? I think I took that one too far out. That's okay. It just means we get more. Yay! Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we actually want this to come out to there. Alright, and alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Yes. That gets us to there. So this is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to be even. Alright, come here you go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is actually, to make sure, from the centers, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. How much further can we go? We can add, technically we can add 3 more, so that's going to give us 12. Alright, so that's 10, 11, 12. 2 and 3. And yeah, that's actually going to be rather terrifying. Yeah. So what we'll do here is let's go like so. Like so. This is just temporary. I'm going to actually put a walkway out here that will eventually meet up with this one. And the idea is that we'll have some I don't know, some like banners or some LCDs out here that'll have different images on them. Alright, so we added 3 more to that side, so let's go ahead and do the same on this side. 2 and 3. That is going to be a huge swath of material. Alright, and up and over, take out on this side. It's like it's already swaying. Oh. This is kind of terrifying, actually. I may end up taking the ones on the end off. All right, so what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pistons. All right, so we're going to set ourselves up 7 pistons. Oh, and then what do we need for the piston heads? I can never remember. Let's take that off. All right, 8 tubes. And a lot of steel plates. What am I carrying right now? A lot of steel plates. Okay. I just have to remember to bring back 72 large steel tubes. Of course, it is functional, so yeah. Basically, we're just making sure that all of the joined pieces are welded up, so that we can actually get everything carried through. Because we'll have to weld up all of the conveyor stuff as well. So we'll take back all of this. We're going to turn on the shared sensor, or tensor rather. And what that will allow us to do is to basically stabilize that whole thing a little bit. Let's see here. Hey, look at that. Alright. Once we get this welded up, I'll do a quick cut. We will get all of the drills welded up, because that's going to take a bit of time. I mean, it's basically one trip for every drill and a half, 2 drills, so we're going to be here a while. This way you at least get to see this portion welded up, and then, like I said, we'll talk about what we're doing here. Now, I had somebody ask, why am I so worried about gathering a resource? Honestly, I'm not at this point. I've got so much resource that I'm bleeding resources. I've actually gotten to the point where I don't care if I don't grind down things. If it's not based on silver and gold, I'm not worried too much about it, or even platinum. Not really worried too much. All right, so we're gonna go here. Grab all of the pistons.
Energy low.
Share the inertial tensor. And then what this is going to do is basically it locks all of these into one tensor track, I guess you could say. So basically what tensor is, for those who don't know, we're gonna dive into a little bit of the engineering side of it here. There's a shear force for each one of these pistons, right? So what happens is where the piston has the piston head, you can apply a shear force to this and basically rip that head off, right? What happens is that because each side of this piston head is its own grid, so this is one grid, this is one grid, right? Where these two are meeting, it tracks the tensor, which is basically a vectored force. So something that isn't being transferred, it's basically transferring force from one to the other. That shear point allows you to share this grid with this grid as far as the tensor calculation is concerned. So it makes it a little bit more stable. The catch is that where that sharing ends down here may become more delicate, but we won't go into that. Alright, so we've got a bunch of drills we have to get welded up. So I am going to do a quick cut, and I will bring you back when we have this a little bit more finished and we're ready to go. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So we're bringing back the last little bit of material here for the last couple of drills. So we should have, there you go, everything we need at this point. And then what we're going to do, get all that welded up. Okay. So now we need one conveyor junction
Energy low.
into the planner. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of those, right? The regular conveyor tubes. So we want that's 7. So we'll add, like, I know I only need to add 4, but we'll add 5 just because the auto pull sometimes shorts me. Yeah. So go ahead and grab all that. Said we want. I'm one of those people. I like having a couple extra parts. It's one of the things that makes IKEA attractive. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this in. Hey, everything is wired in. Okay. Now, I did decide I am going to change this up. We're going to do this after all for a couple of reasons. One, I want to put lights on this. We're actually going to end up with quite a bit. We're going to put lights. Actually, do I want to put lights right there? Or do I want to take that back, say 2?
Energy critical.
Because I'm thinking here is we might do this. So if we just do this instead, put one there. And make sure that that is still good. Alright. And then what that'll do is that'll give us hopefully a little bit of light down on the ground there. So as we start moving this thing around, we'll be able to see what it's doing even at night. Alright. So we're going to leave that open for right now. Now if you notice, I've got I don't have a programmable block on this build yet. So I'm thinking I'm going to put one on. I'll probably mount it on the roof. And the idea is that I want to be able to read everything on the overall grid. So we'll have it do, you know, the inventory spit out to tell us how much stuff we've gathered. One of the other things that I am going to do, especially if I have the parts for it. I don't know if I do or not. I don't think I have the parts on me for it. We're going to get you out of there. We're going to add one of you to it. Alright, so we actually want it to be over there. Damn. Okay, so we're gonna have to change that. See? That's why I always grab extras, because you never know when you're gonna need them. Alright. Now the idea here is we're gonna have something that looks something like that, I think. See, I mean, I guess I can. No, we'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. That's fine. Yeah, we'll do that. Do I have the parts for it? The computers and displays. Okay, let's go grab the parts really quick. So what we're going to do, actually, while I'm here, let's grab parts for that too. There we go. What I want to do is I want to set this up so that we'll have like I said, we'll have an inventory marker. But we're going to set up that little LCD with just a cargo display. And basically I want to know how close am I to my max cargo capacity. I don't care what the breakdown on stuff is, but I need to know how much room do I have to put more stuff in. And so that's what we're going to work on here. You are going to be LCD. And in here we're going to do cargo all. And now what this is going to do, what cargo all will do, is it will tell me, including the drills, how much cargo space is done. And I think it's P. I'll have to look it up. But I think that's what we want. All right, let's turn on our lamps here. And I think for this, we're going to go ahead and just have... You did auto rotate. You punk. Okay. And yes, I could put it down here or something where, you know, but that's okay. We're not too worried about it. We want to edit. We are going to browse our scripts. And we're going to grab auto LCDs. All right. It should probably scare me that I remembered that. All right, so I want it to not say that. I want just the percentile, or just the progress. Which, come on. There you go. Is it XP? No. Okay. See, the cargo one is the weird one because the tags for it are only one. You don't have. I'm gonna see here. Come on. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. So there's an option that will make it just the progress bar. And that's basically what I need to figure out where it is. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do this for right now. Because I'd rather have just the percentage up here instead of, yeah, okay. That works for now. That's all that matters. Okay. Now comes the fun part. We are going to, oh, I forgot to bring parts back for this. We're going to rename all of these so that all of our pistons have, you know, basically which stages are which. So you're going to be piston 1, 2, and all we're doing is making it a little bit easier to for for what we're going to do. What was the 5? This also has the benefit that if we decide to put a status in, like a status tracker of some kind, because we have the 2 LCDs in here, what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to say, you know, I want to look at just all of the pistons, right? And have it tell me what the details are for the pistons. So basically, you know, how far extended are each piston. And that becomes an issue because we are going to go in here. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Okay. Now we want... Actually, hold on a second. Awesome. Okay. So I can make the LCD text a little bit bigger. But for now, we are going to do... Actually, let's do it this way. Drills all. Alright. Because there shouldn't ever be a time when there's anything with their own drills or a different set of drills on this base. So we're not going to worry about naming them here. We don't want to see them. Yeah, I do want to see them in the inventory. What did you... Oh. Come here, you. You, get out of there. There we go. Okay, so we do want to see it on inventory, but we don't want to see it in config, and we don't want to see it in terminal. Why? Because now when we come in here, you don't see them. Makes things much easier. We do want the air vent, though. All right, so let's get some stuff set up here first. So we're gonna do the drills as a group. We want those to be toggled on and off. Air vent, come here, you. Drill cab, air vent. And we're going to go in here. We're going to go all blocks. You will be depressurized on off. Spotlights. I'm going to call these the drill spotlights. All. There we go. Don't want to see them there. Don't want to see them there. Okay. Whoop. And oh, I forgot you can't place incomplete things on the grids anymore. Okay, so or on controls. All right, so let's see here, and then we'll do pistons. And I think what we're going to do is, since we have 7 pistons, we're going to set this up so that piston controls. So we'll have drills on this on the first block or on first bar, and we'll have piston controls on second bar. So we'll still have the drill controls over here, but what we'll do is we'll have button 2 being piston 1, button 3 being piston 2, etc., all the way up to button 8, which should be the last piston. And then button 9 will be a complete reverse piston. It'll basically reverse the pistons and all of the pistons in the group. That's what I'm trying to say. Ah, forgot to turn off the air vent. Oh well. Whoopsie. Yeah, I was mining ice over here out of the pit earlier. Let's turn that on so you can see what we're doing here. Oh, man. So, yeah, over the weekend, for those who don't follow me on Twitter, I received a email from my mom. Nothing bad. It was a joke. It was a joke email. And I actually posted it up on Twitter, and it I won't say it went viral, but it definitely took off a little bit more than I was expecting it to. Oh, and I had some people asking, you know, It's like, did she really send us? Yes, she did. My mom has a very coarse sense of humor. One would say maybe even infantile. She posts raunchy jokes, and I mean, this is stuff that, as a former military member, I would have gotten in trouble for telling while I was in the service. In the '90s, early '90s, to give you an idea just how bad some of these jokes are. Oh, love my mom to death. All right, so. All right, so we've got light out there. Yay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the rest of this set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the same groups that we did before. We're going to put our drill all here. And now the reason I'm doing this is because you know what? No, let's get rid of that. Let's remove that from toolbar. And what we are going to do is we're going to grab pistons. We're going to do the pistons here. So that's going to be extend. And we're just going to go right down the line. And I'm doing it for extend because I want it to actually only go in one direction when I push that button. Right? And what we're going to do here is we don't have it set up, so let's go here. Grab all of those. We're going to call that pistons all. Sorry for the rage typing. We're not going to hide them. I mean, we could. It doesn't really matter at this point since they're already configured. We want groups. And we are going to set this one to retract. So the idea behind this is no matter what status all of the other pistons are in, when I hit number 9, it will set them all to retract, whether they were. So normally people will set it for reverse, and what happens is that if you have something in a group and one of them is extended, the other ones are retracted, when you hit reverse, all of the retracted ones will now extend and all of the extended will now retract. Causes problems. This way you have it hardwired. Each button only works in one direction. Okay, so we are going to go, one more time. We're going to go to pistons, and what we're going to do is we're going to set this to negative 0.125 because that's roughly the rate of extraction on the drills. We want all of that set like so. Okay. So now, the moment of truth. Let's go. All of our drills are running. Let's turn off the header. Awesome. Okay, now. And we can see our cargo filling. See, it works, right? Alright, so basically what we're setting up for is, let's go back to the external view for a second. We're trying to get it set up so that when we have everything mined out here, we'll be able to reposition the drill, say 5 degrees or something like that at a time, and have it rotate all the way around. So it's not actually going to rotate more than, I'm probably going to limit it to say 90 degrees on either way, plus or minus. So, yeah. Looks like it's working. And keep in mind the voxels are kind of weird, so when you view from one angle you may see something that isn't actually there. See how you get the tearing on the voxel? It will eventually catch up. Alright, so we then go number 2. Because I'm kind of curious to see just how deep this trench will be. Because this thing's going to be massive when we're done. And what I will probably do is I keep saying I might do this. I may start playing with the scripting a little bit, and have it do something like when, have like sensors or something that say basically if there's nothing around, then it'll retract, and have a different one saying, if there's something here, then move in that direction. But all right, so let's take another quick look. We're almost at 10% already, which means we're looking at about somewhere between 5 and 7% per drill. All right, so you are not fully extended yet. So, or per piston, rather, I should have said, sorry. Okay, so all right, so that works. So we're going to go ahead and retract everything. I'm going to turn the drills off because I'm not really worried about them pulling a whole lot of stuff out of there. Did I ever put... Yeah, I did. There you go. There you go. Do we have enough room to squeeze through here? Oh, we do. Nice. Oh, is that silicone? No, that's just a shadow. Okay. You, however, are silicone, which is quite a ridiculous amount of it. But look at how much... I mean, seriously. Look at how much material we just pulled out of here. Oh, I love giant mining rigs. They're just so much fun. Oh, alright. So what I may do is I may reduce the extension rate on this. So I'm thinking what I may need to do is set up... I have to check to see if I can do this in scripting. I know I can if I take the time to do it right. But basically what we'll do is I'll probably set up a script that will take the rotor to its, say, maximum and minimum distances it'll traverse. When it gets to a certain point, it'll extend the first piston. If first piston is not, extended out to 10 meters, it'll extend the first piston out X percentage, or to a certain point. Then it'll reverse the rotor, do the piston check again, and then reverse the rotor, and just basically keep doing that until everything is done. But I am horrible with the C# programming, so... I'll probably have to use one of the online cheaters. There are programs that you can find online that will make the script writing very, very easy for you. Alright. This also means that I probably will have to set up the offload system sooner rather than later, because we are already at just shy of 12% of our cargo, and we only did almost 2 full pistons, 2 full extensions of, or we did almost a full extension of 2 pistons. Sorry. Oh, it's running a little bit late for me. Okay, so I think that is going to do that. Alright, so now let's check our rotor. There's 0, so yes, we are looking at a maximum of -90, and there's a reason why I'm saying a maximum of -90 and not 270. So a minimum of -90, a maximum of +90. Okay, so that's going to go here. We want you to be negative 90. Upper limit 90. So the reason for this, if you say negative 90 instead of 270, what'll happen is that it takes it from 0 and counts it backwards. Where if you say 270, it'll say that's where it starts. So basically it's the difference of clockwise and counterclockwise tracking. So this is just an easy way of doing it. So you could technically say 270, but it runs into problems when you set a lower number as a lower limit as a higher number than your upper limit. So this allows you to deal with all of that. Okay, so now since we have that, you are going to be the reverse. And I do not want to have this activated by accident. Alright, so we are going to then say rotor, your velocity is currently 0. Alright, let's turn the drills on first. We'll turn those on. There we go. And let's set that. We're going to do this as, let's go 0.25. And see if that gives us any problems. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's going to be okay. Which is good. We want this to be, we want this to be stable. Remember, number 5 is what we need to do to reverse this. Alright. I'm basically checking for the sweep. I want to see how far this is going to go. I turned on the drills to do just some surface scraping. Basically, it's going to level out the surface for us. Hey, look at that. It works. Okay. So now if we hit number 5, it's going to reverse. Perfect. Okay, I just want to make sure everything down here is working fine, right? Nothing's dragging and scraping, causing any problems. Looks good. Alright, so we do have some plates left. Okay. There we go. Just to even that out a little bit. And if you need to get past it, there you go. That is doing a nice surface scrape, actually. Look at you. Alright. So hopefully you see the benefit of having something like this. Like I said, basically at this point it is just figuring out what our tolerances are on this thing. And if you really wanted to, you could build something like this fairly easily that would allow you to go, a full 360. You just have to remember that you need to give clearance of, I generally do 1 block, 1 to 2 blocks, depending on if it's mounted on a rotor or not. And as you can see here, it basically lines up with this conveyor junction, right? Should be that conveyor junction. Yes, that conveyor junction, which gives us a clearance of 2 blocks to the base. And I do that for a couple of different reasons. One of them being, if I'm ever expecting to use the excavation ability of a drill, I will actually leave 3 blocks between the base and the drill, because when you do the excavation does 5 blocks, right? So that keeps you from basically undercutting the base by accident, because if you completely undercut it, you detach it from the voxel mounting, it will cause problems. All right. So that is actually working. Okay, I'm liking the way that that worked out, and because everything is based off of this, we need 32-ish. Alright, so you can now aim at the rotor. Come into the rotor, and we're looking at 315, so that's 45-ish. So you could do a negative 45. So basically you reverse this out past that area. Set it to negative, like negative 45 would probably get it. Maybe 49-ish. But yeah, so basically we'll be able to position this where we need it and then just mine down and extract as whatever resource we're looking for. So, benefits of using the rotors. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. We finally got this damn drill done. And I think the base is actually pretty much done at this point. Only thing that I'm going to do is set this to 45. Yeah, let's set that one to 45. Should be the rotor on this grid. Alright, so you are going to be the... Oh, what is that? Is it azimuth as the elevation and horizontal? I think that's right. Who knows? Alright, so we're going to set this upper limit to 45. I'm not really worried about the lower limit. So let's go ahead. Yes, okay. And then for you, you are 0, so I want you to be at 315. So we'll do a negative 45. Yeah, do negative 45 for its lower limit. All right, and we want upper limit of 0. And we are going to set negative 0.25. Should be elevating it. Look at that. So the nice thing is that it doesn't really matter which direction this antenna is pointing. We're just basically doing some flavor styling on this. just to make it look a little bit more interesting. Actually, what I might do is... It'd be nice if that thing operated as both a laser antenna as well as a normal antenna. So basically, as long as you had line of sight on it. Anyway, we have taken way too long on this, so I am going to get out of here. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw those down in the section below. I do apologize for it being a mostly night recording this time. Hopefully there's enough light. I'll try and, if not, during edits, I'll try and lighten this whole thing up here a little bit. But if you did enjoy the episode, you've hit that like button. You want to do something nice for me during this whole containment thing, be sure to hit that subscribe. Not only is it a nice thing to do, it lets me know you're enjoying the content. And well, that's what we're here for. On that note, I am going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Have a terrific week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. So now we get to do all the mining and positioning on this thing and strip mine a planet. Okay, works for me.